Good evening. Thank you for staying with Kivumbi 2017. We are trying to take you through the whole voting process and what you can expect on August 8th. We have an entire team of from the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission here to try and see if they can answer some of your questions. We were talking about security, so...
Yes, I mean, we are trying to put all the measures in place to protect our citizens. We know that there are parts of the country that are insecure, like Kipia is obviously one of them, but we also know of the areas around Garissa, Mandera, especially today where you saw some terrorist attack. We're working with the Ministry of Interior and also the Inspector of Police to secure those areas, not only for our staff, but also for the voters that will be coming out.
Okay, so how prepared are you?
We are obviously, as you can see, the fact that we are here showing you how election day is going to look like.
Yeah.
We are fully prepared for the election.
And then there's someone who's asking a question about voting and staying at the polling station or voting and going away and how they're going to secure the votes of the people they're voting for.
I think the only way you can secure the votes for your candidate is to make sure you just come and vote and go. Okay. So that is the best way to secure the votes for for the candidate that you have. And you know, we've said on several occasions that the 400-meter perimeter is sacred perimeter, legal perimeter for the IEBC, and we do not expect anybody to violate that perimeter that we have set out.
Okay. The scenario under which you'd use manual identification, sorry?
Well, we really do not want to be pushed into any position where we'll have to use a complementary mechanism. That is the manual register. And we, as you saw during the setup, you did not see us crossing the register because we do not anticipate, we are not going to be crossing the register at any point. And the only way, you know, the only time we'll do that is if the technology completely fails. So if the KIMS technology completely fails, then the law provides that we use the manual register. And that means you just come, you're identified, we call out your name, we cross the register, and we allow you to vote.
Okay, that is the last option that you have.
That is the last option that we have, and that is an option that we don't wish to use at any point.
Okay. So my voter was just about to vote.
Yes.
So he had been given the ballot paper, and then from here, so who handles him at that point? Someone please explain what's happening?
Now, immediately you have your ballot papers, you walk to the booth, then you mark your papers.
You know, Linda, that's a very important part. There are two things we are doing there. We are ensuring the secrecy of the voter by providing that space there so that the voter, you know, votes without any interference or anybody overseeing or looking to see who they voted for. But also, it's very important while you are there to make sure that you do not spoil.
How do you get to spoil that ballot paper?
You know, you hear some people say that what you'll do is that if you don't like this candidate, you put X, X, and the one you want, you tick. That is a completely spoiled, rejected vote in that case. You've messed it up. So you are only required to put one mark, and that mark, it can either be the X or it can be the tick, but it has to be within the box, not beyond the box. And we'll get a chance maybe to show you, you know, we have to be very careful on that one. Do not put your signature. We do not want to see your signature. It will be considered an invalid vote. So don't use your signature.
Just X or tick.
Just put X or tick, and only one of those. Not for all the. Not both.
Okay. So my voter is done. You need to cast your vote, Mr. Voter, and. So once that whole process is done, this voter has cast the vote and they've decided who it is they want to vote for. Please go through the ballot boxes and place in. There we go. Go, 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 go.
And you know, Linda, we're starting with the president. And this is how the setup will be. It's the president, the member of the National Assembly, member of County Assembly, senator, woman member of National Assembly, and governor. And this time, we do not want to have a situation in which we have more ballot people voting for the governor than the number of people who have voted for the senator. So we will ensure you are first going to be given all the 6 ballot papers, and we'll ensure that all those 6 ballot papers
so ukisha vote, there's a mark that's put on your finger?
Yes, using the indelible ink. Pen.
I can't undo that, can I?
No, and that is why for you with your very nice nails, we'll have to find a place somewhere here, I believe, where we will put the mark there.
Okay.
In between.
All right. So once that is done, assuming just for some weird reason I get a way to get rid of that mark and I want to vote twice.
You'll still not be able to vote, by the way.
Why not?
You still not be able to vote because what happens is that once this skims, if you vote and you come back and you try to put your biometrics there, or you try to have your ID scanned again, the system actually just flashes and says something. The person has voted.
It says you voted. And you guys arrest me.
Yes.
And your data not bop up.
Yeah, that is an election offense. You'll have committed an election offense. And so, I think the best place we'll take you is to have company, the company of the other prisoners at committee.
Okay, so I've come in to vote, and I'm not quite sure what to do and the agents in there. So where do I get help from?
That's why you have the presiding officer and the deputy presiding officer.
Ask the presiding officer.
You ask, yes, and that is why, if you noticed, both the presiding officer and the deputy presiding officers do not sit.
Okay.
They do not sit because they have to be monitoring what is going on, but also be available to provide support to the voters when they need their support.
Okay. So someone give me a pen. I need to show people how to tick or not tick, and maybe I could get a close-up. Can I get a close-up shot? Because I need Kenyans to know if you're supposed to be ticking, what can qualify this to be a spoiled vote. I'll give you the opportunity to do this. Can you get a close-up of this? Okay. Come.
Okay. Yeah.
So you get to tick. So what qualifies this as a spoiled vote or as a good vote? So assuming...
Okay, so let's take this one, first of all, to have spoiled this one, right? Yeah. Different ways of spoiling it. So I could do X, and then I do...
a tick.
You see this tick, and it's going all over all the way there, but it's already spoiled anyway. That is a spoiled vote.
Okay.
Because it's been marked everywhere.
Okay, so because this tick goes into this other box.
Yes.
It's already spoiled.
It's already spoiled. But also the fact that you've decided, you know, I don't want this one, I don't want this one, I don't want this one, I don't want this one.
Oh, so this is someone saying, I don't want this one, I don't want this one, I don't want this one, I want this one.
I want that one, yes. So you've already spoiled that ballot.
So that's how you spoil vote number 1. How else do you spoil vote number 2? Okay, so when you
put your signature, you're not supposed to use your signature. You either use the tick or the X. So by just putting your signature there, you've already spoiled that vote.
So make sure when you're casting your vote, the tick or the X does not go into this other box.
Exactly.
And you do not put your signature.
Do not use your signature. Do not draw. You know, you do not just decide that since you really like your MCA and you like her face, you want to draw her face on that box. No, do not do that.
So if you've realized you've spoiled your vote and you've not cast your vote, what do you do?
Exactly, Linda. I was waiting for that question.
Okay.
Because there's been a lot of hullabaloo about extra ballots.
Yeah,
exactly. Why do you have extra ballots? That's precisely why. Because as a voter, the law allows you to be given up to 2 extra ballot papers.
Up to 2,
meaning actually 3.
Okay.
So if you realize, as long as you notice before utumbukize, then you will give you another ballot.
I just say nimeharibu.
Yeah, you just come, you approach the presiding officer, or the deputy presiding officer, or any of the clerks there, and inform them that kumekuwa na
this
makosa.
one, then they'll give you another one.
Then they'll give you another one.
Okay.
And by law, you are required to be given twice, so it's 3 times. Yes.
All right, let me bring in some my colleagues. We have Joy Doreen Bira and Sharon Momanyi. People?
And yes, back here we have quite a number of questions. But, you know, the key messaging coming in from my guests on this end of KTN Online, people are asking why IEBC chose to use celebrities in their awareness campaigns, because they think that, you know, they haven't been able to break down the matters really well to people in the grassroots. Joy, I would like to start with you on this one. What are your sentiments towards this?
So I just want to start with the thought process and strategy behind why they use celebrities. Globally, what has happened is when the era of digital marketing started, it was all about the banners, and every other person was having banners and ad block and those kind of things. Yeah. But millennials are engaging and increasingly putting ad blockers on their mobile phones and their devices. What this means is that when you buy a banner ad, the ad will not be served to me. So what has happened in other markets is that brands and communicators are looking for ways of engaging, and the way they do that is through influencer marketing. So I look for someone who speaks to Joy Doreen, and I use that person to speak my message. But here's a caveat for that. The aspect of it that actually makes a win or the lose is the credibility. Because for someone to actually take an action based on what an influencer has said, they have to be credible. Right. So yes, they did have a good strategy of using influencers, but my question is the credibility of the influencers they have used. Yeah. The people they have used are great celebrities in their regard, but would a gospel singer be the best person to tell me about how to do my voting? Would it be someone who I've seen active on the ground talking about those particular issues that are close to me?
All right. We also have some video questions that were posed by some of the people in the counties, but before we actually take those, would like to cross over to Hassan Juma. Hassan, what do you have for us where you're at?
Linda, tuko katika kaunti ya Makueni, haswa eneo la wote na mrembo hapa. Majina na swali kwa IEBC.
Majina yangu ni Josephine.
Swali kwa IEBC. Songa karibu. Swali kwa IEBC.
IEBC ningeiomba ifanye hesabu kura katika ile njia inayostahili, ile haitaleta mfurugano katika nchi yetu.
Asante, wewe una swali kwa hivyo, lakini ni wasia huo. Naam. Majina na swali lako kwa IEBC.
Yes, kwa majina naitwa Michael Ndavi. Nikiwa eneo ya Makueni County wote. Nauliza swali hili. Ukienda kwa IEBC kwa ile chumba ya kupigia kula na upate jina, umeweka kidole jina lako haitokei, utafanya namna gani?
Na msoma peke yangu, Mashirima upande wako wa pili, sijui kama kuna wadau ambao ungependa kujua ama kuuliza maswali kwa IEBC?
Naam, kuna swali hapa kutoka mwananchi ambaye anauliza kuhusiana na kama kitambulisho kimepotea. Jina lako kamili?
Mimi naitwa Cyril Muli Mutisia. Swali yangu ni voters card ndio imepotea. Nitaweza kupiga kura? Swali yangu ndio hiyo.
Naam, Linda, ni maswali hayo ambayo tumeweza kupata kutoka hapa katika kaunti ya Makueni. Kuna mengi zaidi, lakini kwa sasa tunaomba tupate majibu ya maswali hayo.
Haya majibu tutapata Mashirima, usiwe na shaka. Tuko hapa kwa sababu yenu bana. Haya, the issue of credibility.
I mean, look, we have used a variety of people to send our messages around. It's been celebrities. It's also been normal Kenyans. If you look at our Why Vote campaigns that have been targeted to the young people, especially working with the IFES, those have been kawaida young people, youth that we've been using for that. And obviously, all the staff that are here today are not celebrities. All of us are IBC people working and trying to explain to people.
Including me, right?
The only celebrity here is Linda. But there was an important question, Linda,
what
that
if you
was
go
asked.
there and your name is missing?
Yes. If your name is missing, completely missing from the register, too bad, you won't vote because you're not in the register of voters. So I know there are people who will ask, but si uleta ile register ingine
tu.
Ile printed. No, we don't have any other register. We only have one register. The register that is in the KIMS is also the same register that you would have in a printed version.
So if your name is not there, you can't
it's
vote.
Not there. Kama haiko.
Haya basi kitambulisho changu kimepotea.
Actually swali lake lilikuwa ni kama umepoteza ile voters ID. You do not need it. Hauhitaji kuwa na ile acknowledgement slip ama voter ID ambayo inaonyesha kuwa wewe ulijisajili kama mpiga kura. Unahitaji tu kuja na kitambulisho chako ama passport yako. Hauhitaji kuja na voter card. Kama umeipoteza, usijali kuja kwenye kituo. Kama umepoteza acknowledgement slip, usijali kuja kwenye kituo cha kupigia kura na utapiga kura.
Haya basi, hayo ndio maswali ambayo Wakenya wanayo kuuliza IEBC. So now let me bring in my colleague Sharon Momanyi. Sharon, una maswali yapi bana?
Linda, nakusikia wangangana zaidi na Kiswahili kwa studio. Lakini hapa awali my colleague Mark Namaso had spoken to the local leaders. Earlier on we spoke to the wananchi around here. So we want to hear also the local leaders had some questions to ask to the IEBC. So let's take a listen to that.
I think for the people of Laikipia, there has been quite a bit of excitement about the elections that are coming. As you can tell, especially here in Nyahururu, people are very expecting a lot. They are very excited. And in a sense, I can say people are very prepared. In fact, when I am going around campaigning, they count the days. They tell me 10 days, 5 days, and they know how many days are remaining. So to that extent, people are ready. I think there has been a level of civic education on the voting, the procedure and the process, and IEBC has been very helpful in terms of explaining to the people what is expected of them.
Hapa eneo hili wananchi wote wako na ufahamu ya kwamba wanagojea kupiga kura, kwa sababu sisi wenyewe tumewaelimisha ya kwamba tumebakia siku chache tuingie kwenye uchaguzi, na wako tayari kabisa. Nadhania ikifika tarehe 8 hiyo mwezi wa 8 asubuhi na mapema tutakuwa tumeshinda, especially sisi watu wa Jogoo, maana tumefanya siasa, na tukikompea na yule jamaa mwingine tunaona kama ni tumeshinda by 90%.
Okay, wakati tulipokuwa tukizunguka kuomba kura, tumejaribu kuwaelimisha kiasi, na pia this will cause the civic education as far as the issue of the voting is concerned, na tumejaribu kulinganisha wakati ule mwingine mwaka 2013 na mwaka 2017, tumeona kuna tofauti.
Wananchi.
Okay. Different sentiments from Kenyans all over, some of them leaders hoping to get some particular positions. Okay, there's a specific question. I've registered using my ID, then I've lost it. What happens?
I mean, the law does not provide. You see, Linda, we can only go by what the law says. It says that when you come to a polling station, you must produce your identification documents.
In between, I lost it. Then I went to the police and they gave me this. Is it called what?
A police abstract.
Yeah, a police. Sorry,
you cannot use that. You cannot use a police abstract. You cannot use a laminated copy of your national ID. It has to be your original national ID.
I lost it, but I have a copy.
Absolutely not. You cannot use that. The law doesn't allow us to do that.
Okay, I lost it, but I have my passport.
You did not use your passport to register, so we cannot use it to identify you.
So if you've lost your ID in between, sahau yo maneno. This year's election is clearly not for you. Allow me to end this at this point. Thank you so much for watching Kivumbi 2017. We hope we've been able to answer some of the questions that you have. We may not have done this exhaustively. We'll try to answer as many of them as the days go by. You have just 4 days, so it's our responsibility to make sure that you understand the whole process and you know what to expect. Thank you so much, people. This is Kivumbi 2017.
Kivumbi 2017 for all your election coverage. Excuse me. Listen up. Standard Digital has no outrageous headlines just to get clicks. We take our watchdog role seriously. We bring you the news without any special interests. Accuracy is our first priority. What are you waiting for? Visit www.standardmedia.co.ke now for the full truth. Standard Digital. True, vigilant, unbiased.
I am Carol Nderi in Nyeri, and this is KTN News.
Mimi naitwa Chief Ali Mwakubo, nikiwa chief wa Diani location. Hapa tulipo tunaitwa Mkwakwani Village, Ukunda sublocation, ambapo hapo jirani kidogo tuko na Ukunda airstrip na tuko na Mkwakwani primary. Na kulingana na maendeleo vile yanaenda kwa kasi, serikali imeonelea ipanue kituo cha uwanja wa ndege kiwe kikubwa. Hivyo basi imelazimu shule ile yetu ya msingi ya primary ya Mkwakwani itoke ng'ambo ile, na jengo hili lenye tunaliona hapa ndio compound ambayo serikali imeweza kutuwekea. Imenunua hii ardhi na pia inatujengea hii shule kwa kuweza kutimiza yale malengo ya kuhamisha ile shule iliyo karibu na kiwanja na kuileta upande huu.
Haruna Obanda. I'm a member of Arena Q Youth Group. We started poultry farming in the year 2009 because there was a high demand for broiler products. We've increased from 50 to now 500 to 1,000 birds per month. We got our capital as a loan from Youth Enterprise Development Fund, and the second loan, we bought tent and chairs for hire. And the third loan, we bought a parcel of land, and this has made us open new butchery branches, and which has created employment for the youths in the area.
The group was started when majority of members were single. I've seen people getting married, and I'm also married. They have been able to take good care of their families, and when there is a positive improvement in an individual or a group of people, there is a positive impact in the society and a positive improvement in the country at large.
Safari oya, safari ya bamba ni machero.
Tupeleke Kenya mbele, Kenya mbele. Sisi sote tupeleke Kenya wapi jameni? Kenya mbele, tusirudi nyuma kamwe. Akina mama na wazee wote wamesema uhuru ni wetu. Mashinani viwandani wamesema uhuru ni wetu. Uhuru ni wetu, uhuru ni wetu, uhuru ni wetu, uhuru ni wetu. Kenya mbele, tusirudi nyuma kamwe. Uhuru ni wetu, uhuru ni wetu, Kenya mbele, tusirudi nyuma kamwe.
Tarehe 8 mwezi wa 8, mpigie Uhuru Kenyatta kura ili pamoja tuendeleze maendeleo.
The Rift Valley is known for its agricultural potential, economic viability and tourist attractions. From Nakuru and the rest of the Central Rift to the South Rift, I am Victor Ogale and this is KTN News.
KTN News, your official election station.
A very good evening from the KTN News Election HQs. My name is Ben Kitili. Our wall-to-wall rolling coverage of the run-up to the August 8th general election in about 4 days' time continues here. Many thanks for joining us. Let's take a look at the top stories this hour.
Intensive refresher trainings for the judges and magistrates who will handle electoral disputes.
Interior Ministry to deploy 150,000 police personnel to secure the general election as judiciary prepares judges for extra workload.
Kishia huyu tutampatia kazi ya serikali, awe ndani ya serikali. Mshahara iko wapi? Kazi kwa vijana.
NASA campaigns in Kisumu, Kakamega and Busia as Kenyatta leads Jubilee vote hunt in Meru, Tharaka Nithi and Kitui. Plus, police look for 4 suspects of a Chris Msando murder as results of post-mortem exam on Marian Wairimu Ngumbu are revealed.
We've done our campaign. We have gone out, sold our agenda. We have a proven track record of the things that we've done over the last 4 years. So we're very hopeful for the people of Kenya.
And KTN News' Sophia Wanuna brings you a special interview with President Uhuru Kenyatta tonight. Welcome to the broadcast. Our sign language interpreter is Meresha Owiti. Now, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission will require over 150,000 police officers to secure polling stations during next week's general election, way beyond the less than 99,000 police officers that the country currently has. The Ministry of Interior says the government will gazette special police officers from the National Youth Service, the Kenya Forest Service and Kenya Wildlife Service to meet the Commission's security needs. As the Interior Ministry outlined its polls security plan, the judiciary also revealed that judges and magistrates will work well into the night and on weekends to solve any electoral disputes should the need arise. Rita Tinina begins our broadcast tonight.
This is the best, most peaceful 4 days to an election in history.
With just 4 days to go to that big day to the ballot, the National Police Service has been getting ready to ensure security for all during the polls.
We have deployed and we shall deploy both resources and equipment.
With 42,000 polling stations in need of ample security, the IEBC has requested for over 150,000 police officers, 50,000 above the 99,000 police officers the country has, and the government will look beyond the police force. It will draw officers from the National Youth Service, the Kenya Forest Service, and the Kenya Wildlife Service.
And the IG has therefore prepared to appoint those people who are not police officers as special police officers for that period.
As special police officers get ready for the new assignment,
Judiciary is ready and able to resolve all electoral disputes which may arise from the August general elections.
A bench book on electoral disputes has been launched, and judges and magistrates who will handle electoral disputes may have to work beyond normal hours.
I will, if necessary, allow our judicial officers and the judges to work outside of visual hours into the night and through the weekends.
Religious leaders under the multi-sectoral forum say they are satisfied with the preparations made by the IEBC and want the security agencies to deal with politicians they say are up to no good.
There are some leaders who may have pre-planned violence, as then they pretend if it breaks out that it is spontaneous.
With the countdown to the elections now down to days, the group of concerned Kenyans initiative want presidential candidates to take the lead in preaching peace.
Call on the presidential candidates to jointly and publicly call for peace and credible elections before Kenyans vote on the 8th of August. This will go a long way towards calming the nerves in the country.
The Tuesday polls will be the second general election under the new constitution. Rita Tinina, KTN News.
So barely 90